This is just a quick introduction to the basic functions of the ski school database. There's lots of other videos that tell you how to deal with individual forms and what have you, and also on each form there is a help option, which I'll go through in a minute. When you first download the database, again there's another video explaining how to download it. You need to put in your password. As those of you who use my databases before will know, all my passwords are really simple. So in this case it's 123 ABC. So if you click that, you can change this later on, and then the ski school database opens. In this particular one I've loaded in lots of students and instructors and other details just to show you how it works, but when you download it it'll be totally blank. So the first thing to do is click on setup, and you need to set up your company information. As I said, the password at the moment is 123 ABC, so you can change that just by putting in this password at the moment, 123 ABC, and then clicking enter, and that enables this box. You can change the password to whatever you want. You also need to put in your company details, the name of your ski school, telephone number, and just general information. This next section here, the paths and names, you don't really need to worry about this too much if you don't want to. I've coded this so this section, doesn't matter where you save your database on your computer, it'll automatically fill in these two sections, and it'll find out the name. This information is needed to make the background codes actually works, to make it work properly. Now the next bit, class information, you can change this in any way you want. This is just, if you click on go to folder and click on class information, you'll see it's just very generic information that is given to all students. So it'll tell them that they need lip balm, they have to bring goggles and ski glasses, and just very generic information. But this is automatically emailed or printed out with every confirmation. Again, you can change this in any way you want. Just close this down when it eventually closes. The logo, when you email someone a confirmation or print off stuff, it's always got the ski school logo at the top. So you need to change this. Just call it whatever you want. So in my case, that's my logo. So, sorry, I couldn't think of anything else. I just nicked that from somewhere on the internet. So again, add that. Right, the confirmations. When somebody's booked a ski class, when you send them an automatic email, this is a text that is added onto the email at the top, along with all the times and locations and meeting points. If somebody walks into the ski school office and you want to print it off, this is the text that is printed at the top of their confirmation. It may be an idea just to have them exactly the same, but I've done them slightly different just so you can see how it works. So that's the setup. The next thing you need to do is add in some instructors, because you can't have a ski school without instructors. So at the moment we've got Elizabeth, who we got? Philip, Charles, Camilla, William and Kate. That's that. The main thing about this is two things. It's this section here where it says is current. If they're available to take ski classes, then they're current. If for some reason they leave the ski school and they're never going to be available, this is not holidays, by the way, it just means they're never going to be working for you again, then you just click no, and that'll take them off the availability list. The other thing to bear in mind is this email address. It's quite important that, because all their daily sheets, class confirmations, everything else is sent to that email address, so it can be looked at on a mobile phone or it'll pop up on their PC or whatever. To add a new one, a new instructor, just click on new, add in the details, and it's as simple as that. Any problems, as with all the forms, there's always a help option that explains how it works. So I'm assuming then that you've done the instructors and you've done your setup. Sorry, I'm dying of a cold at the moment. Another button to look at is the admin one. Now, the reports is the only section of the database, once you're in it, that you actually need to put in a password. Because sometimes you'll be in a ski school office and you don't want everybody to be able to see all the information that you've got. So click on that and then put in your password. In my case, once again, 123 ABC, and click enter, and that enables this button. What this does is it opens up the reports section. So as an example, let's say you want to, let's say this week you want to look at all the instructors' hours for this week. That tells you how many hours each person's worked. There's lots of different things you can do with this. It also does your full company, it does your company accounts, that you can actually, so you click on that, it tells you everything that's happened financially, so you can give these reports to your accountant, and he'll be able to do your company accounts. Tells them where all the money's come from and how it was paid. As an example, this person, they paid £123 for ski class, and they paid £35 for equipment hire, so they paid a total of £158. It basically tells the accountant what the money is and that appears in your bank account. Obviously this can be changed, but I'm not going to go into that because that would be a bit naughty, so we won't go there. Now, bookings and returns, a lot of schools dwell on this. I don't know why, but they do. So it tells us, as an example, on this day we had 6 people, of which 2 people are returning clients. This day with 23 people, of which 9 were returning. It shows that your ski school is popular if lots of people return. That's the only reason I've coded that one. So these are the reports that you can actually have. The income analysis, it tells you how much you've earned in a given period from ski class, equipment hire, transport costs, whatever the types of income was. It breaks it down into different income types. So the reports they're there if you want to use them, or you can just make your own up. Oh, just as a by the by, on that admin one, it's passworded because it's not really a good thing to let this not be on a non-password protected section. This bulk mailer at the top, I'm told that the law around bulk emailing is going to change in the near future, so whether you want to use this section or not is up to you. If you put in hi or dear or whatever, it will be followed by the client's first name. Then you can type in whatever you want in there, and then you can either select individual people, you can select all the people, etc, etc. You can add attachments, say you've got a special flyer that you want to send out to everybody, and then just click send, which I'm not going to do because it will take ages to send them. Bulk emailing, some people call it spam. It's an option, it's there if you want to use it or whatever. This section here is what goes in the header of the message, in your email. But once again, I'm told the law is going to change on that, so you may not be a good idea to use this section. So let's go and have a look at the actual bookings form, which is obviously the main part of the database. Now, the top section of this is what we're really interested in, which is this section here. It tells us what's going on with our ski school today, or tomorrow, or the next day. They're color coded just so you can actually see what's going on. So let's have a look. So Charles is not available today, or rather on the 1st of the 7th from this time. He's obviously booked some time off work, and he's not available all that day. These, if it's green, then they are available, and if it's if it's orange, then they've already got a ski class. If you click on any of them, click on this section here, it'll actually show you who's actually in that class and what the type of class is. So in this case, Elizabeth has got a class starting at 9 o'clock. It runs for 3 hours, and it's in Nordic skiing, and it's at meeting point 2, and these are the people. Now you can have a play around with this, with all these different buttons, and it'll show you sort of what they do. So as an example, if you select this person, oops, sorry, my mistake, select that and then select this, it will work, damn you. There you go, and it tells you what they've done. So let's have a look. So this particular person So Dawn, let's say we want to, Dawn has decided that she's booked a ski class, but she wants in-resort transfer. And we're going to charge her, I don't know, we're going to charge her €20 for this in-resort transfer. So that's the cost and the actual amounts that she's paid. So she owes us €20 now. So she's paid 20 and she's going to do it in cash, and she's done it today. So it now tells us that she owes us nothing. So you can have a play around with these, and it'll let you see how it all works. As an example, this is the booking. This is the individual person's information. So once again, have a quick play around with these, and it'll tell you how they work. If you're not sure, once again, have a look at the help file. On every part of every form, there's always a help file that goes through it. So the main bookings form, that's a different help file. So this bit at the top again, let's have a look at this. So let's say we want to make a new booking. So someone's walked into the ski school office and they want to book a ski class for with Kate, and they want to book it at that time. So 1300 hours. It asks you if you want to create a class. So we want to create the class, and we want to create it at 1300 hours, and it's a 2-hour class. So she's going to do it on the 3rd, and it's just a one-off, so they're not going to do it consecutively. And she is going to be teaching, it's a private class, and they're going to be learning telemark. And the meeting point is, they're going to pick them up at the hotel. Okay, so we click save, and it creates the class. So now when we go to the 3rd, and we go to Kate, that's the class there, and it's for 2 hours. So obviously now we need to add some people into it. So all you do is click on this, and let's say it's John Smith. Now, because he's an adult, which is the default, we don't need his date of birth. If it's a child, we need his date of birth just because it's a legal requirement in Italy. I'm not sure about other countries. But let's say they're an adult, and their phone number is 07123, etc., etc. The email is quite important because it's where all the confirmations get sent to. So that's that. And we need to know where they're in. So they're in the Slopeside Hotel in Folgorida. This section here would be for disability snow sports, or if the parents are going to pick them up at a certain time, or they want you to bring an extra pair of ski poles. Anything about that particular person, make notes, and it'll always appear on the daily sheets. And then you just click add booking, and there's John Smith. He's an adult, and you know what's happening. Now John hasn't paid any money. Oops, sorry about that. So let's have a look. So John, don't even know how to use my own database. So he booked his telemark class, and it's going to cost him, I don't know, €100. Everything's coded for euros, by the way, for this at the moment. So at the moment, John owes us 100. He also wants, let's have a look. He wants an in-resort transfer, and he wants some equipment hire. So we'll charge him €10 each for those. And that's that. It tells us now he owes us 120. So he's paid 120, and he's paid it in cash, and he's paid it today. So it now tells us that he owes nothing, and that's that. So John's now for. Now what we can do now is we now need to send John his information. We need to send John the confirmation. So all we do is we click send confirmation, which is this button here. We can have a look at it before we send it. Now if you remember before I said the ski school logo and all the rest of it, there's the text that you put at the top, and it gives him a receipt for his money, gives him all the details of the class, and you just click send. So send that one, or you can actually print it off if he's stood in front of you. Now obviously Kate doesn't know about this because it's a new booking, so we need to tell the ski instructor. So there's Kate. So she needs a daily sheet for the 3rd, so we can have a look at it first. Let's do for the whole of this week. So we can say to Kate, there's your daily sheet, and it tells her what she's doing. And if you look on the 3rd, there's the telemark class that John's just booked. So, or you can send them just today's or tomorrow's or whatever you want. So, or you can just print it off if Kate just happens to walk into the office. But it's normally better to email it. So that's the basic run through of the ski school database. It does a lot more than what I've just said, but have a play around with it. It might be an idea to download 2 copies, one to mess about with and one for to use for in real life. One last point, this little backup button, I would strongly suggest that if you're going to use this in the real world, if you lose the information about ski school bookings, let's say you've got 10 people turning up tomorrow at the top of some ski slope and you don't know about it, it could be it will be problematical. Make backups, make 2 backups a day, 3 backups a day. All that happens is by backing up, it automatically backs up. You need to create a Hotmail Hotmail email address, but they're free anyway, and then from the Hotmail go to OneDrive or SkyDrive or whatever they call it, and it will automatically back up to that. All that happens is you end up with hundreds and hundreds of backups in your SkyDrive or your OneDrive, whatever Hotmail calls it at the moment. That doesn't matter, but what does matter is that sooner or later, if you don't make a backup, you are going to spill coffee on your laptop and it's going to be problematical. You need to make backups. So I haven't coded it to do this automatically just because it's something that I don't like doing. So just click the backup button every now and again and make an online backup, because if you don't, the one time you don't make a backup is the time it's going to go wrong. Seriously. Any problems, contact me just by clicking on the support button and it'll tell you how to contact me. And that's that. I've just had an email from a guy in France who's actually using this system, and he wants to know what happens when things go wrong. As an example, let's have a look. So you've got the bookings there, so you've got today's bookings and everything's fine, there's no problems. But let's say Kate, who is due to run a 2-hour lesson starting at 9 o'clock, let's say she phones in and she's not available. She phones in, she can't come into work. So we're going to put her, so Kate rings in and she's not available. Where's my button gone? Come on, let's go. So she's there and she's not available all morning because, I don't know, for some reason. But she's going to be in at 12 o'clock, so that's fine. So we click save, and if we then go back to the bookings, we can see now that one of them's turned orange. There's an error, so Kate can't do that class. And if you look now, it comes up and tells you that there's a mega problem with this. So if we look at Kate's class, it says you can't do it because she's not available. So we need to change it. We need to look who is available to take this class this morning. And we can see that Elizabeth is available, so we'll change this class. We'll change Kate's class to being Elizabeth. So we'll find Kate and we'll find the class, which is this one here. Starts at 9 o'clock. So Kate's due to do it, but obviously she can't, she's not here. So we'll change it to Elizabeth and we'll click confirm. Yeah, and then we go back to the bookings now, and you can see that Kate's not available and that 2-hour class has now been given to Elizabeth. Obviously it may cause problems again tomorrow, but looking at this, it doesn't. So that's how you change things when they go wrong.